Hello and welcome everyone to SoCalCollegeSports.com's live coverage of the 3C2A softball championships here from Bakersfield College. I am Mike Cepeda, joined alongside Matt Folsom and Jeff Stoynoff in Chips mode here. A very special day two here, a triple header on SoCal College Sports. It'll be the winner's bracket starting things off. CSM, College of San Mateo, taking on Sacramento City. A battle of the North, very Game of Thrones-esque theme, if you will.
Yeah, we're going to start losing people today.
We are.
Elimination
2 teams
day.
going home today.
Seems like they kill off a character every episode.
That's the very Game of Thrones.
Well, let's start off with the matchup. Matt, you'll have play-by-play duties first to start things off. Very familiar with both teams out of the North, San Mateo, and the winner of the Big 8 Conference, Sacramento City.
You know, the interesting thing is that this is the first time 2 teams in the North, from the North, have met on Saturday morning in a winner's bracket game since 2009 when the field was 8. That was Sierra and Siskiyous back in 2009 in Salinas. So this is a precedent-setting situation for these 2 teams. San Mateo has been here this is their 4th consecutive time. Sac City hasn't been here, but you couldn't tell yesterday from Sac City. They had a dominant performance from Callie Sargent, really the MVP performance of day 1 here in Bakersfield. So if she can do, emulate that, a 2-hit 6K performance against the College of San Mateo. San Mateo is going to be playing again later today. Sacramento City is going to be playing tomorrow on Championship Sunday. So these 2 teams on a mission. San Mateo looking for their first title in 4 trips, and Sacramento City looking for title number 5 in their history.
Stoy, anything to add?
Well, I thought, are we moving on to game number 2? Or
No,
do you want my thoughts on
I want your thoughts on everything.
on San Mateo?
Wow.
Well, certainly San Mateo, the first thing they have to do is overcome Callie Sargent, assuming that she's right back to work today. Obviously, it'd be a break for San Mateo if they could manage to miss her in the rotation. But, San Mateo is a team coming here very much on a mission. Felt that they missed an opportunity last year after being undefeated in the regular season. So, maybe the hope for San Mateo is that they're at the right moment, right time. This is a team ready to break through.
And both fan bases in full force here today. The dog pound for San Mateo and the Panther faithful here at Bakersfield College. Moments away here from the start of the winner's bracket, Game 3 on the weekend here from Bakersfield. We'll be back.
Welcome to Bakersfield College, Dean and Ada Gay Sports Complex for Elimination Saturday here at the 2016 CCCAA Softball State Championships. 4 team flags flying in center field right now. 2 will come down today. This first game features a winner's bracket matchup between 2 Northern California teams. The number 1 seed, the College of San Mateo Bulldogs. The number 2 seed, the Sacramento City College Panthers. Matt Folsom, almost forgot my own name, along with Mike Cepeda and
okay,
Jeff Stoyanov. It does happen. We're going to be calling every play, every inning, every game today as we move closer and closer to crowning a 2016 state champion. Mike, yesterday, 2 different games completely to get these 2 teams here today.
Yeah, it was an incredible performance from Sacramento City College. One that will probably go down in the record books. A terrific performance by Callie Sargent, the DH today for Sacramento City. She almost launched one out of the park. 7 innings pitched, a complete game shutout, only 2 hits allowed. Again, an impressive performance from the Panthers. For the Bulldogs, it was a completely different matchup. 8-6 the victory over Santiago Canyon College in a thriller in Game 1 yesterday.
And we are underway. First pitch to Madison Butkoff, the second baseman, is out or inside, ball 1. Butkoff yesterday 0 for 3, but provided some great defense out there for the Panthers. The 1-0 pitch from the starting pitcher, Samantha Dean, gets the nod. 13-1 on the season. And in talking with the coaching staff, they say there's not much difference between Morgan Jones and Samantha Dean. Good, bad, or otherwise. That one's high.
Yeah, Morgan Jones yesterday, 22-1 now on the season with the win. Samantha Dean coming in cleanup duty, getting her 3rd save on the year. Starts today. And like you said, both players, the coaching staff for the Bulldogs and CSM have a lot of confidence in, but it's Butkoff with the leadoff walk to start things off here in game number 3 on the weekend.
And that brings Katie Gravel to the plate, the right fielder. 0 for 4 yesterday. Did score a run. Runs are going to be few and far between for possibly in this game.
Yeah.
Yesterday, Sacramento City won 2-0. Cypress really not getting much offense going, and that is going to be the key for the Bulldogs here today. Can they get some runs off of Callie Sargent? We'll see in about a half an inning.
Yeah, and Cypress, let's not forget the fact that they are missing their best player. In fact, the best player from the South, Taylor Pierce. They were able to grit their way and will their way up here to Bakersfield, but they came up short yesterday versus just a buzzsaw of a pitcher in Callie Sargent.
Yeah, the first postseason loss for Cypress College this year, and that that's what they say up here. Pitching can carry you to a state championship. Certainly, it moved the Sacramento City College closer.
I feel like pitching can really do that for you in every aspect of whether it be softball or baseball at any level.
You're absolutely right.
But the bats need to get hot here for both teams. I mean, if you think about it, it was only 2 runs posted on the board yesterday for Sacramento City, and they're going to have their hands full at the dish versus Samantha Dean. Good start, though. Butkoff with the leadoff walk.
That one low evens the count, or moves the count to 2-1 to Gravel.
Gravel coming into the weekend batting .323 on the season. 11 walks, 15 strikeouts. That 15 strikeouts, second on the team.
Nicole Borg making an early journey, something she doesn't like or just wants to reinforce maybe a game plan.
Yeah, they're having a conversation right now. They're looking down at the release point in the dirt, if you can see that there.
So obviously Dean talking about not getting some solid footing out there, and that may be affecting the fact that she's thrown 6 balls in 7 pitches.
We've mentioned on many occasions throughout the weekend the rough terrain that is the field here at Bakersfield College at the sports complex, and it can wreak havoc really for fielders, but now it's seeming to have an effect on the pitcher for CSM.
2-1 pitch. This one's fouled back to the screen, evens the count at 2s. Well, and the Bulldogs are known for their defense. I think what Nicole Borg, as well as Samantha Dean, want is just to throw some ground balls and let her defense take over. But that's when the field, yesterday we certainly saw that with Wells at shortstop having an uncharacteristic 3 errors in that win over Santiago Canyon.
Yeah, CSM, 3 errors, both teams with 3 errors yesterday in the Santiago Canyon College game and the College of San Mateo. And you said this is one, in your familiarity with CSM, this is one of the best fielding infields that you've seen in your time covering softball.
One of the best defenses I have ever seen. 3-2 count. This one hit to Wells.
Right
bobbles
on
it.
cue.
Yep.
Takes it seemed like a routine play, possible ground ball, but Butkoff with good wheels gets the second in a hurry, and I think that really threw off shortstop Megan Wells, and she bobbles it, and that's going to be ruled in air.
You know, it looked to me like she took her eyes off the ball.
You can't
Well,
take
she
your
was
eyes
grabbing
off
it.
the ball here, especially with the way the ball moves off of the dirt.
That brings to the plate the first baseman, Gabby Ortiz. Ortiz gets the bunt down. Up with it is Samantha Dean. In time over to Jordan Davis. Advances the runners to second and third with the sacrifice.
So second and third, one out now here in the first, and Sacramento City and the Panthers have something brewing.
So 1 down, 2 runners on.
That was a terrific bump by Ortiz. And
Perfect.
Ortiz almost got there in time. Luckily, Samantha Dean able to get there in time for the out.
Ortiz not known for her wheels, but just almost got a single out of
Yeah,
that.
with the dexterity of the bat, to be sure.
Cleanup hitter, Caitlin Luffel steps to the plate, the catcher. 2 for 4 with an RBI yesterday, drove in the first run.
2 for 4. I thought she was 3 for 3.
She was. Actually, we had her 3 for 3, so there must have been something that we had as a hit that Mr. Wheeler had as an E.
Well, that's right. It doesn't matter what we think.
It doesn't, ever.
Ever. Just got to make sure we don't flub.
1-0 pitch on the way. This one hit up the middle. That's going to score a run. And safe at first is Caitlin Luffel. Jordan Davis dropped the ball.
Butkoff comes in to score 1-0 here in the top of the first inning. The Panthers on top.
So that would have been out number 2. The run would have scored, and that would have been out number 2. But Jordan Davis mishandled the throw.
Well, the turf's not doing any favors to the Bulldogs, but now the Butterflies seemingly an issue here in the fielding for CSM. San Mateo reeling here in the top of the first and third, only 1 out and already 1 across.
So 2 errors in inning number 1 result in an unearned run. And that brings to the plate the left fielder, Morgan Welch, outstanding in left field defensively yesterday. 0 for 4 at the plate. That one catches the outside corner, strike 1. So we'll see if Caitlin Luffel, who does have a little bit of speed.
Yeah, Luffel on the season hasn't stolen a base. No, but we've seen the wheels yesterday.
Right.
She flashed some wheels.
She did.
In the game last night, in the nightcap versus Cypress. Sacramento City with the lowest seeding coming in of either team.
Got here with a quote-unquote upset over second-seeded Fresno City College at Fresno City College.
Yeah, the Super
Never
Regional.
easy to do in the Super Regional.
Yeah,
You're
the
absolutely
Rams
right.
just seem to be a powerhouse in the north. Them and City College of San Francisco always seem to be in championship pairings.
In whatever sport.
Yeah, we saw that in basketball early on. And swing and a miss.
3 pitches. And Welch goes down for out number 2.
Well, Dean says my fielding isn't really getting it done. Let's just see if we can blow it by the batters. But here comes, I believe this is Callie Sargent.
This is Callie Sargent. Big stick. Infield shifts, Jordan Davis. Well, she was trying to get the sign. That one low. And Harley Donovan wants to go out to talk to Dean. Probably missed signal right there.
Well, and I think they're just talking about location here. You really don't want to give Sargent something to hit. She rifled one out to center field yesterday deep. It was playable, but if you let her get behind one, she can really make you pay. 2 on, first and third.
1-0 pitch from Dean.
Yeah.
Setting up outside.
And this might turn out to be one of those non-intentional intentional walks.
Unintentional, intentional. Of course, she could reach across the plate and
A la Kelly Leak from Bad News Bears.
there you go.
I see what you're doing.
Who was the actor who played him? That was.
I don't know. I know he was in Watchmen.
Yeah.
Played the guy with a mask on his face.
And that was an unintentional, intentional walk. Brings up Katie Lopez, the shortstop, with 2 down.
Third intentional walk, if you will, on the weekend for Callie Sargent. So she is a threat in all facets of the game.
So now you have a force at any base, including home plate.
And really the smart move. You can't let a player like Sargent beat you. You're already down 1-0.
First pitch to Lopez.
Well, I heard they announced Callie Sargent as the starting pitcher. Is that correct?
Yeah. It is.
Wow. So she's just going to go to battle.
She's going to throw every inning this weekend.
That's just so impressive.
That one hit to the second baseman, Christy Peterson, who makes the grab for out number 3.
Disaster averted here in the top of the first.
Bases loaded jam for Samantha Dean. She gets out of it with an important strikeout. And we're through the top half of the first. The score, Sacramento City College 1, College of San Mateo coming to bat. Welcome back to Dean and Ada Gay Sports Complex. Harley Donovan, the North Player of the Year, leads it off for the College of San Mateo Bulldogs, who trail 1-0 after 1/2 inning. Callie Sargent facing her yesterday. 7 complete innings, gave up 2 hits, struck out 6, didn't walk anybody.
This is the matchup of the weekend, the Northern Player of the Year this season, Harley Donovan. And Callie Sargent probably had something to say about that, or is at least thinking that this is what we wanted to see.
And don't be surprised if we see one of those unintentional, intentional walks to the leadoff hitter at least once in this game.
Just so dangerous on the season is Donovan. Donovan coming into the weekend batting .454, 17 home runs. Talks about the power, and she's in the leadoff spot. So, you know, pick your poison. Do you want to lead off the do you want to lead off the game with a walk, or do you want to let her swing away?
And that was an illegal pitch by Sargent, so it results in ball 3. You're absolutely right, and that's why Nicole Borg moved her up into the leadoff spot. She was getting intentionally walked in that cleanup spot so many times. That one in for a strike.
So the delayed strike call seems to be the theme of the weekend for both umps behind the dish.
That's got to be a mechanic. They must have discussed that. Let's try to make it tough on SoCalCollegeSports.com.
Yeah, they're not doing us any favors, but that's okay. We're getting our money's worth.
3-1 pitch to Donovan. High and outside, ball 4. Both leadoff hitters in this game have been walked. And that's not what either coach wants.
No.
And that brings to the plate the left fielder, Caitlin Chang.
And Donovan with some wheels, too. She has 7 stolen bases, only caught once.
Chang yesterday against Santiago Canyon, 1 for 3 with an RBI and a run scored. Donovan at first. The pitch. Squares around to bunt. Up with it is Ortiz. Nowhere to go. There's
mission
tagged her
accomplished
out,
there
yeah.
for Chang, as Donovan now at second in scoring position.
Took my eye off the ball. I never want to do that. That brings up the second baseman, Christy Peterson, with Donovan on second. Peterson 1 for 3 with an RBI. Also scored a run. Pitch from Sargent. Hit to Butkoff. She boots it. And that's going to score a run over the head of Gabby Ortiz. Ill-advised toss by Madison Butkoff. She probably should have held it after bobbling it.
Yeah, it was not going to catch Peterson, and Peterson with some good wheels as well. Hasn't been caught stealing on the season, and that is the first run allowed by Sargent.
Well, and both teams kind of imploding in the inning number 1 with errors and walks.
We keep on talking about the terrain here in the infield. And that one eats up Butkoff. Leads to the equalizer.
So stepping into bat right now, Samantha Dean, the pitcher. That one catches the outside corner. So 1-1. Bulldogs answer.
I was watching soccer this morning, Matt, and the equalizer, a very popular term in soccer.
They get the equalizer on a Butkoff boot.
You have to say it with an English accent.
Oh, yeah. Well, go ahead. The equalizer. Dean flies to Newman in center for out number 2. Excuse me, out number 1. Jumping ahead.
No, that is
out number 2.
That is out number 2. We have the sacrifice there from Chang.
See, I took my eye off that.
That's all right.
I was watching this runner go down to second.
Well, you can't do that.
I can't.
You're taking a page out of the book of the infielders.
I am.
Infielders this weekend.
Dancing Queen Jordan Davis, the first baseman, steps into the box. This one hit to right field. Over the head of a leaping Katie Gravel. Coming in to score, Christy Peterson. It's an RBI double for Jordan Davis.
Jordan Davis, an absolute rope over the head of Katie Gravel, and Gravel misplays that one to start things off. Doesn't pick it up in time. It goes over her head, gets to the wall, and CSM leads it 2-1.
That was hit so hard and so fast that no matter what Gravel did, unless she had a 42-inch vertical leap, she was not going to catch that. She had no chance to
I don't
move.
even know if she would have got it if she had a 42-inch vert. Maybe if that was Kevin Durant out there.
Maybe. Shortstop Megan Wells steps into the batter's box for the Bulldogs. This one fouled right back to the screen. Well, that's what the Bulldogs needed to answer that one-run outburst in the first by the Panthers. They now lead 2-1.
Have some trivia coming up here for you shortly here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. We'll give you our contact info so you can answer.
Luffel throws it down to Butkoff, trying to get Jordan Davis at second. She got a good lead.
SoCalCollegeSports.com proud to bring you coverage this weekend of softball here from Bakersfield. Next weekend, it'll be baseball up at Fresno, and we will have scores for you of the baseball games going on right now throughout the state.
That one high, ball 2. I'm screened by this beautiful green pole.
You can see it in the shot.
I can see the B in ball and the G in guest on the scoreboard.
2-1.
2-1, thank you. That one hit hard down the left field line, but foul.
Yeah, you go 7 innings last night, 88 pitches for Callie Sargent in the win yesterday evening, and at what point do you think fatigue becomes a factor as she seems to have lost a little bit of the zip that was so effective last night, the high fastball.
And I think it's as much the potent bats of College of San Mateo as it is fatigue, although that does have a factor when you...
Off speed.
That's going to score another run. Crossing the plate is Jordan Davis. And an RBI single for Megan Wells.
Well, you have one team missing the Player of the Year in the South. This team not missing the Player of the Year in the North. In Haley Donovan, she's already come in to score 1. 3 on the board this inning so far. 2 gone here in the bottom of the first, but the Bulldogs in good shape here in the winner's bracket.
Ariana Garcia steps into bat, the DP. Dangerous designated player. Scored a run yesterday, but 0 for 2 at the plate. First pitch to her, fouled into the net. 2 down. 3 runs on 2 hits already across in the bottom of the first. Panther error. 3 errors between the 2 teams in inning number 1. Of course, we talk about the defense. I've been talking about the San Mateo defense, and they've already got 2 errors.
Yeah.
Talking about it for 2 days. This one hit on the fly, caught on the fly by Gabby Ortiz. The side's retired. For the Bulldogs, as I just mentioned, in the bottom of the first, they jump out on top. 3 runs on 2 hits, 1 Sacramento City error, 1 Bulldog left. After 1 complete, the score. San Mateo 3, Sacramento City 1. Well, an interesting first inning here on the Elimination Saturday in a winner's bracket game between 2 northern teams. 3 errors, 4 runs. 2 errors by the Bulldogs, 1 by the Panthers, and the Bulldogs have a 3-1 lead. Lots of stuff happening in that inning.
Yeah, indeed here, Matt, and that's it's going to be interesting to see if the Sacramento City College bats can come alive. They only scored 2 runs yesterday. That will not get it done today, as there's already 3 on the board for CSM.
First pitch to Katie Lopez, who opens inning number 2 for the Panthers, is a strike. That one in the dirt. Evens the count at once. Samantha Dean, 13-1, got the save yesterday. 3rd of the year. 1-1 pitch. Just misses outside.
Yeah, I was waiting for the call. That looked pretty good.
Yesterday, that would have been a strike.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, we're well trained now after 1 day and 1 inning of waiting for the umpires to make the call behind the plate, not anticipating. That's another ball.
That's also one that might have been called a strike yesterday as well.
Yeah, we saw that all day long yesterday.
Yeah, the inside part of the part of the plate.
So the count now 3-1 to Katie Lopez. Dean walked the leadoff hitter last inning, Budkoff, who scored a run. That one in for a strike.
Megan Anthony right now, the batter.
Swing and a miss by Megan Anthony.
So sit her down, second strikeout today here for Samantha Dean, and strikeout got her going as she settled in in the top half of the first. Looking pretty good right there, the first batter here in the second.
So stepping into the box, the center fielder, Cheyenne Newman. Also had a good day in the field last night. I guess I should say last night.
In the nightcap.
In the nightcap.
That went in there for a strike.
Newman 2 for 3 with a run scored. Way back in the box, as far back as she can get. Takes a couple steps up, hits it back to Dean. Dean over to Davis for the out.
Second time today that Dean has come off of the circle and fielded her position very well. Good reflexes. Time for some movie trivia here in SoCalCollegeSports.com. In a league of their own, which stadium hosts the tryout for the All-American Girls Professional Baseball League? Email your answers to SoCalCollegeSports@hotmail.com. Eager to hear from you.
Was it Dean and Ada Gay Sports Complex?
It was not.
Okay. We can eliminate that. You can mark that off the list.
Next inning will give you a hint.
Oh, okay, good.
As to what the answer might be.
Madison Butkoff, the leadoff hitter, fouls the first pitch from Dean that she sees into the net. That one got away, and that may be the footing that Nicole Borg, the coach of the Bulldogs, was concerned about when she went out to talk to Samantha Dean early in the top of the first.
The first person to answer today, free digital copy of today's ballgame.
All right. That one in the dirt. And it's not Dean and Ada Gay Sports Complex. The delivery from Dean. Third baseman Casey Edwards up with it over to Davis. The side's retired. 3 up, 3 down for Sacramento City College. You're watching the 2016 CCCAA Softball State Championship on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Welcome back to Bakersfield. Inning number 2. The bottom half for the Bulldogs is led off by Riley Wells, the right fielder.
And remember, everybody, you don't have to be in front of a computer to watch the game live. Download the Ustream app for your tablet, PC, or smartphone device and search SoCal College Sports, SoCal College Sports, one word. Or you can also input www.socalcollegesports.com into your web browser, and you can catch us on the go. You got to go to the store, got to go to the local McDonald's, get you some food. You can catch us in the car.
You know, I heard from a lot of people who were driving down yesterday listening to the games.
Not that we condone watching video in your car. Of course, you can do it as a passenger.
They've got it on their. They've got it on their. Yeah, the passengers were playing it on their phones or iPads.
But you can listen to the coverage
You can listen to it. You can listen to the golden voice of Mike Zepeda.
Well, I don't know about the golden voice. Maybe a brass.
Brass,
bronze,
whatever. Some precious metal. That one fouled down the first baseline by Riley Wells. 3 runs on 2 hits, 1 Sacramento City error in the first gave the Bulldogs a 3-1 lead after the Panthers had jumped on top with a run of their own on 2 San Mateo errors. Callie Sargent touched for 3 runs. And we talked about how important that was, a key to the game. Can they touch Callie Sargent after a dominant performance yesterday?
Well, the answer is I don't really know yet. I think they have her for a hit so far, but really most of what they got came courtesy of the error by Butkoff in the last inning.
And a leadoff walk for each team, resulting in a run.
And the walk was, that's merited. You don't want Donovan to beat you.
Nicole Borg fielded that foul ball.
That does put you in a precarious position, leading off the leadoff batter in the order here for the Bulldogs.
Two-two pitch from Callie Sargent. Misses inside.
Just barely, and Sargent has really good movement on that ball.
And last night against Cypress, she was getting those inside calls.
Yeah, she really was.
That would have been a strike last night. I'm not saying anything about either umpire. I'm just saying that the way the game evolved last night, that was a strike.
Strike zones vary.
This one hit. Up with it is Butkoff. Not in time and a little awry.
Second error today for Butkoff, and she is struggling in the field right now. That one, it's 2 throwing errors. The first one was a toss that went over the head of Ortiz at first. That one in the dirt and goes back to the dugout.
And she made a great grab, a really good grab. I thought that ball was going to go right into center field. She was actually able to corral that, but just off balance or tried to hurry it or tried to overthrow it, but it results in her second error in 2 innings. And it brings Kristen Kawaki, the center fielder, to the plate for the Bulldogs.
What is the famous John Wooden line? Be fast, but don't rush.
Be fast, but don't rush. Bill Walton's favorite line. That one fouled back into the screen. They don't make them like John Wooden anymore.
They never will.
Never will.
They made him once.
What a they win 10 in a row.
I lost count after 2, and that's it's in history.
I was growing up then.
Count.
I was growing up watching that team. I was just fascinated by that team. This one bounding back to Sargent. She's up with it. Butkoff on the bag also tags Kawaki for good measure, making sure the out is made. But that moves Wells to second on the sacrifice. 1-4 if you're scoring at home or scoring here. That brings up the leadoff hitter, Harley Donovan, who might see an intentional walk right now.
That was an intentional walk to start things off in the game, and Sargent looking into the dugout, getting a sign, and likely with first base open, probably just going to put her there.
I would.
Via the base on balls.
They are.
Oh. Well, I mean, she goes right down. It looked like it was right down the middle. Looked pretty good. Not called a strike. That is a very tight zone today here for Callie Sargent.
And Luffel, the catcher, saying it was low. I'm sure Coach Kiernan was asking where that pitch was, and she signaled that it was low.
Good eye there, Matt.
1-0 pitch from Sargent. That one catches the strike zone. They are going after Donovan. That's good to see. I like seeing that.
Well, you like the matchup, and we talked about it in the first inning. This is the matchup we wanted to see on the weekend. Top player in the North this year against somebody who could have made a case for herself, Callie Sargent.
2-time All-American Harley Donovan in the box against a pitcher yesterday who is virtually untouchable.
And let's talk about the All-American status at 2 different positions. Last year in the outfield, this year behind the dish.
Yeah, what a great athlete. Good grades, academic, All-State.
Impressive.
That one hit into the gap. It's going to go all the way to the fence. Coming in to score, Riley Wells, RBI double for Harley Donovan.
And the player of the North in 2016 delivers, winning the battle between 2 of the top players coming out of the North this year. And we're going to have a visit to the mound.
I think Sargent's done.
I think you're right.
Kiernan's not even going out there to talk to her.
Last night, pretty chilly. A little nip in the air. Today, a day game. The sun bearing down and, coming off of 7 innings pitched. Yesterday, 88 pitches in total. She has struggled here. Errors have not done her a favor. But that will do it for Callie Sargent.
You know, and that was just roped. You know, that shot by Donovan rolled all the way to the fence before the center fielder Cheyenne Newman could even go over and make an attempt.
Yeah, I mean, and Donovan, tremendous power on the season. 17 big flies in 2016, a gaudy number. That's better than 12 more than anybody else on the team.
And Callie Sargent comes out of the game.
Well, she comes out of the game on the dish. I wonder if they sub her in as a DH or a designated player. How does that work, Matt?
They can do that. They can certainly do that. They can put her in at the DP or the flex position.
Yeah, they will definitely keep her bat in the lineup. She is a force to be reckoned with at the plate.
And we're waiting to get the official designation.
We will step away and come back in a moment. And just real quick before we do step away, game files and DVD copies of all SoCal College sports broadcasts are available for $30 plus shipping. Visit our website at www.socalcollegesports.com or email us at socalcollegesports@hotmail.com for details.
Justin Bebout now in the circle for the Panthers. Looking at her stats.
Justin Bebout on the season, 52 innings pitched, 16 runs allowed, 16 walks, 31 Ks.
You look at it, 289 overall total innings pitched for Sacramento City. Sargent had 202, so not a lot of IPs for this staff beyond Sargent.
Not a lot of depth, and you have to figure if they do advance maybe tonight. You have to figure, you're down 4-1 to one of the top teams in the state in CSM. You might just have to hope things go for you the rest of the way, and if you can pull out the victory, you'll take it. But right now, this is going to be a tall order versus the Bulldogs.
They're saying that was a foul ball, and they are going to be playing another game no matter what happens. They're going to be playing a second game today.
Could be tonight.
Could be tonight. Could be
in the winners bracket tomorrow.
They could be in the winners bracket tomorrow. Yeah. Yeah, I had forgotten that the winners aren't going to play another game today. They're going to be playing tomorrow on Championship Sunday.
Is it Bebout?
Bebout, Justin Bebout.
Justin Bebout, 5-2 on the season, 3 complete games. So she does have the ability to go the distance and put in some work.
That one hit over the diving Katie Lopez. That's going to score Harley Donovan. Caitlin Chang delivers an RBI single for run number 2 in the second, and it's 6-1.
5-1.
5-1?
It's all right.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got to count my black squares on my score sheet, and it's 5-1. Christy Peterson, the second baseman, reached on an error by the second baseman Budkoff in inning number 1. Scored a run on Jordan Davis's RBI double. That one catches the inside corner, strike 1. Definitely a different look in pitchers, in placement, velocity. Here's the pitch. That one in the dirt. Luffel up with it this time. Donovan scores her second run on that Caitlin Chang RBI single. The pitch, that one hit up the middle. Budkoff tags her. Not really sure what anybody was complaining about on that. But that one is out number 2. Budkoff unassisted. Bringing to the plate Christy Peterson, who reached on that Budkoff error. So that was Samantha Dean. On it first is Christy Peterson, who reached on the fielder's choice. That one hit back to Bebout, who's up with it and over to Gabby Ortiz, and the side is retired. But College of San Mateo strikes for 2 more runs, only 1 hit. There was another Sacramento City error and a Bulldog left. We are through. 2 complete. The score now, College of San Mateo 5, Sacramento City 1. For inning number 3, Katie Gravel, the Panthers sent up the 2, 3, 4 hitters. Tried to get back into this game, trailing 5-1.
Back to movie trivia. In a league of their own, which stadium hosts the tryouts for the All-American Girls Professional Baseball League? Email your answers to SoCalCollegeSports@hotmail.com. A hint, the outfield wall has ivy on it.
Well, that's a good hint.
That's maybe too good. First to answer that correctly will get a free digital copy of today's game. And game files and DVD copies of all SoCalCollegeSports.com's broadcasts are available for $30 plus shipping. Visit our website at www.SoCalCollegeSports.com or email us at SoCalCollegeSports@hotmail.com for details.
Gravel works Samantha Dean to her 2-0 count. Does that mean that a player named Ivy was on the wall? She went to make a catch and got stuck on the wall.
Could be. I don't exactly know the story behind the ivy at Wrigley. I'm sure Jeff Stoynoff does, and he'll explain that at some point.
Casey Edwards to Jordan Davis for out number 1 brings up Gabby Ortiz, the first baseman. Just missed beating out a bunt in the first inning that was fielded by Dean. That one hit high and deep, and it's out of here. Home run for Gabby Ortiz.
First home run on the weekend here in Bakersfield, and Ortiz gets a little pop on the scoreboard. 5-2 now. Cuts the lead for CSM to 3.
Gabby Ortiz, her 3rd on the year overall. And this is what we saw in the Super Regionals last weekend in the championship game. Sierra touched the Dean for 2 home runs in the 6-4 loss to the Bulldogs.
Luffel, the next batter up, and then Morgan Welsh, who leads the team with 6 home runs on the season, also due up this inning.
So the lead is paired to 5-2 now by the Panthers. Run at a time is the strategy. First pitch outside from Samantha Dean to Caitlin Luffel.
You just got to chip away, get some base runners, put somebody on board, and see if the bats come alive here for Sac City.
1 hit, 1 run at a time, 1 inning at a time. That's all you can do. That one high.
What's
2-0 count.
What's the quote from Bull Durham? We got to take them one day at a time.
One day at a time.
That also applies to runs.
Luffel reached on an error by Jordan Davis in the first. Mishandled the throw.
One of 2 errors on the day already for CSM.
And Dean falls behind 3-0 to the dangerous, the cleanup hitter, Caitlin Luffel.
Yeah, you probably expect that bat to stay on the shoulder of Luffel.
The pitch, that's high. Unintentional, intentional again.
Yeah. So here comes Welch, and Welch, as we talked about, leading this team in big flies on the season. She has 6 to her credit. And might this be all she wrote here for Samantha Dean?
I think Nicole Borg's going out there and say, hey, let's protect this lead. We jumped out to a 5-1 lead. Let's get our heads in the game and play a little defense.
Yeah.
Let's support our pitcher right here. I don't, in her coming out, I would have to then disagree with what I said, which was that wasn't an intentional walk. Who knows?
Justin Bebout on deck. So what that tells me is that
they're taking her out.
No, well, does that mean that Bebout is in and they don't keep Sargent in the lineup with her bat?
That's what I'm thinking.
Or can they sub her in later on in the ball game?
You can substitute for somebody one time.
Okay.
So she could come back in.
Not including a pitcher. Or does that include a pitcher?
That includes the pitcher.
Okay.
That one gets away from Donovan. And over to second is Caitlin Luffel.
Well, Dean trying to execute a specific pitch, and that one gets away from her. Welch also leads the team in Ks on the season. She has 26 coming into the weekend.
And there's going to be a pitching change. Nicole Borg just pointed down to the bullpen, and in comes Morgan Jones. Dean leaves with a 5-2 lead. Tosses the ball to Morgan Jones.
Jones with the win yesterday. 22-1 on the season. Allowed 6 runs, 3 of them earned. 97 pitches dispensed yesterday by Morgan Jones, and she will come in. We'll take a break in the action, come back with you. 5-2 in the top of the third. Sac City threatening on SoCalCollegeSports.com.
All right, the first batter to face Morgan Jones is Morgan Welch. This one hit back to Jones, who throws it over to Jordan Davis for out number 2. Moving to third is Caitlin Luffel. And 1 pitch, 1 out for Morgan Jones.
That is efficiency.
That really is. So Morgan gets Morgan to ground back to her. Justin Bebout, who replaced Callie Sargent last inning, steps into the box. Five to 2. Here in the top of the third. Panthers threatening to add another one with Luffel at third. That one inside. Beautiful day here.
Yeah, 70 degrees, slight breeze. Beautiful day for softball here from the sports complex on the campus of Bakersfield College.
2-0 pitch, misses outside. This was the concern for Nicole Borg, the coach of the Bulldogs.
Have some scores for you from baseball action. Remember, we will have coverage for you of baseball next week from Fresno. Right now in the South, it's Golden West on top of Chaffee. In their best of 3 series, that's in the top of the 9th, is Cypress and Grossmont. Cypress with an 11-8 lead there. Grossmont leads it 1-0. Santa Rosa up 5-0 on Chabot. In the North,
Jones comes in with a strike on that one.
And San Joaquin Delta all over the number 2 seed. In the North, 13-3.
This one hit up the middle. It's going to score a run. Not in time over at first. RBI single for Justin Bebout.
And the deficit cut to 2 here for the Panthers. 5-3 now the score. That run will be credited, or well, it will go on the sheet for Samantha Dean.
Katie Lopez, the shortstop, steps in to bat. Bebout, who came in to pitch for Callie Sargent, delivers to help herself out a bit, try to get back in this game.
Bebout at first. Lopez 0 for 3 yesterday in the win over Cypress.
Some foul back. Jones jumps ahead. I mentioned a minute ago that this was a concern for Nicole Borg and the CSM coaching staff, that would their pitchers be able to deliver? It was, she has the defense, she has the offense, the pitching. If it comes through, they're pretty untouchable.
Yeah, and the defense has been really a chink in the armor here for the Bulldogs on the weekend so far.
0-2 pitch outside.
3 errors yesterday. Donovan thought about firing over to get Bebout at first. Did not pull the trigger. We talked about maybe a bit of an injury for Haley Donovan, the player of the year in the North. For CSM at catcher, because you've talked about her rifle of an arm. She did have 1 throw out yesterday, but 2 allowed stealing.
Right.
2 throws in the dirt yesterday versus Santiago Canyon College, and she hasn't really pulled the trigger on that pickoff play to first, something that you've seen this year be very effective for her.
Well, in that, in a lot of situations, that last one where her rifle arm could have gotten the runner out at first, she didn't even attempt it. So I don't know if that strategy with 2 down, you don't want to throw it away, or that's gone. But foul.
Foul. Wow. Jones gets away with one there. Lopez with 3 dingers on the year. Nearly had her 4th. That one tailing just foul.
Just foul.
Just foul.
So the count now even at 2-2.
Yeah, pocket deuces in the count on Katie Lopez.
Morgan Jones with a pitch. That one outside.
And that time, Jordan Davis late to cover. I think Haley Donovan was thinking about throwing over, and Davis was late getting there.
Two down, 3-2 pitch. Fouled.
That's a good piece of hitting there by Lopez. Lopez fooled on it, reaches out, does make contact, and stays alive in the at-bat.
So the 2 runs across here in the top of the 3rd for the Panthers as they get back into it. It was 5-1 heading into this inning. Can they add more? That one popped.
Another error in the infield will keep this inning alive for the Panthers, trailing by 2. Man.
So we'll, I think Morgan Jones gets that error. And we're up to 3 errors for College of San Mateo here in 3 innings.
Very uncharacteristic. The defense was very much a strength coming into the weekend, but that has really faltered and betrayed them here throughout a game in less than a half.
Megan Anthony at the plate, the DP, struck out to start the second.
Does have 1 home run on the season, 15 batted in, 14 Ks, 10 walks. Can she keep the inning going right here?
Runners on first and second for the Panthers. The pitch, that's low in the dirt.
I'd like to see Haley Donovan really take over and try to pick off one of the runners here and get out of this inning.
Well, let's see if your prognostication.
Got to communicate with Jordan Davis and make sure they have that down.
Fouled back.
You have a rifle, use it.
The pitch from Morgan Jones. That one fouled off her left knee, using her leg as a bat like Mike Cepeda does.
I got out of baseball early.
Focus on basketball.
I wasn't allowed to play any other sport outside of volleyball.
Volleyball, yeah.
And bowling, but to some that's not considered a sport. I disagree.
Count now full. Megan Anthony at the plate. Morgan Jones in the circle. The pitch.
Uh-oh.
Making the grab. Caitlin Chang in foul territory, just at the fence by the bullpen for San Mateo. The side's retired. But Sacramento City strikes her 2 to get back into it. Home run by Gabby Ortiz. 2 hits. There was another San Mateo error. And we're heading to the bottom of the third. The score now 5-3. Bulldogs on top of the Panthers.
This broadcast being brought to you by Nevco and Diamond, eteamsponsor.com, Jostens, and Bob McCloskey Insurance.
Jordan Davis leads off inning number 3 for the College of San Mateo Bulldogs. Had an RBI double in inning number 1. Bebout starts off with a ball to her. Since you mentioned Bob McCloskey, the Bulldogs looking for some insurance runs. This one hit to Ortiz. She's up with it by herself. Jordan's retired.
The insurance run opportunity brought to you by Bob McCloskey Insurance.
It's good marketing.
Really is. Our idea. Actually, Jeff Stoynoff's idea. Let's credit that man. He'll be on for color commentary duties. Next inning.
Megan Wells with an RBI single in inning number 1. Steps into the box. In for a strike. Wells making up for maybe a little deficiency out at shortstop with an RBI single.
Yeah.
A 1 pitch. That one hit. Up with it is Budkoff. Over to Ortiz.
2 errors today for Budkoff, but looked pretty steady on that play there, getting Ortiz at first.
And that one has the potential. Definitely, she's moving to her glove side.
Tough play to make, but made it look pretty easy.
DP Ariana Garcia steps in to bat. Hit a line drive to Ortiz to end inning number 1. That one on the outside corner. Bebout looking pretty good so far in relief of Callie Sargent.
Pretty solid so far. She's been tough to hit. Not only that, she has an RBI.
The pitch just misses. The pitch from Bebout. Misses low or outside. Take your pick. Two down. Here in the third. The pitch. Fouled back. Breeze picking up now here at Dean and Ada Gay Sports Complex. Blowing from left to right, as you see out there in the outfield. Good discipline by Ariana Garcia. Those high risers are so tempting.
And Bebout flashing some pretty good speed out there. Good velocity on that fastball.
That one fouled. Down to Avila. You know, we noticed last week against Cabrillo, Michelle Firebaugh with a good rise. This San Mateo Bulldog team, very disciplined, not going on fishing expeditions.
That's pretty good.
The pitch. That one hit. Oh, just past the diving Katie Lopez, and on at first, Ariana Garcia.
That's a great effort there by Lopez.
That's called getting dirty right there.
Really is.
She's got a pound of dirt in her pants after making that diving catch. Has to loosen her belt and shake it out. Riley Wells, the right fielder, reached on a Budkoff error last inning.
Wells with 1 home run this season, 25 batted in.
This one hit to Gabby Avila. Over to Ortiz. She's safe. She pulled her leg. And she's in there.
Came off the bag. Oh, the wheels just falling off there. Ortiz comes off the bag. Everybody is safe. Second and third. And the Bulldogs and the Dog Pound feeling it here, trying for a 2-out rally to extend their 5-3 lead.
So Gabby Ortiz pulled her foot at first base. We saw it up here. It happens more than you think, but that one was pretty obvious. So runners at second and third, heads up base running by Ariana Garcia, and then Riley Wells going over to second.
Just heady play from Bulldogs. You'd expect nothing less from the top seed in the North coming in.
So 3 errors by the Panthers in 3 innings, matching the total for San Mateo. That one wasn't really even very close.
No.
And that brings up Kristen Kawaki. Kawaki bunted Riley Wells over to second in inning number 2 on the sacrifice. 5-3 the score in the third. Bulldogs on top. The pitch misses inside.
That was close.
That
Sac
was really
City
close.
faithful not liking the no-call strike there, and probably with good reason. That was a strike yesterday.
Different day, right?
Indeed.
1-0 pitch from Bebout. Fouled back.
It's 1-1 here, and I don't really expect it to, but, you know, Kawaki, one of the leaders on this team with 10 steals on the season. She has good wheels. The infield playing back, you maybe think about bunting here.
Bunting on, yeah, bunting for a single.
Swinging away.
Frustrating. Bebout is frustrating Kawaki.
Won't be bunting here, that's for sure.
1-2 count. The pitch from Bebout. That one hit down the third baseline, foul. Runners moving with 2 down.
Kawaki, no home runs on the season, not a lot of power. She does have 17 batted in, so she's good with the bat. But if you're Bebout, you just have to keep on firing strikes. You're up ahead in the count. Maybe unleash a high fast one right here or the pitch after.
That one just a bit high. Bulldog Nation making some noise. The dog pound here in force.
Hour and 10 minutes already passed here. We're only in the bottom half of the third.
Another foul ball. Picked up by third baseman Mark Maciel. One-handed grab without a glove.
I'd say this is the 8th pitch of the at-bat so far for Kawaki.
The pitch.
I got her.
Caught looking. Kristen Kawaki. And that retires the side. The Bulldogs in inning number 3. No runs. They had a hit. Stranded 2. And we're through 3 complete. The score remains the Bulldogs 5, the Panthers 3. Welcome back to Bakersfield for inning number 4. The score, as I mentioned, as you can see on the screen, 5-3. The College of San Mateo out on top of Sacramento City College. I'm joined by Jeff Stoyanov. Been doing stats over there, providing all kinds of good stuff.
I'm working on a few. I've been working on the trivia questions here.
All right. They are very trivial. Good job.
I got a few more. I got some more trivial ones than that. I started out very basic.
Well, it gives us something to look forward to.
For you.
Cheyenne and Newman, left-handed slapper, takes a called strike from Morgan Jones. That's a little different than last night's Sacramento City game.
No Callie Sargent on the mound, so it's a little different dynamic.
That one outside. Always interesting to see these left-handed slappers. They stand so far back in the box, as far back as you can get. And a lot of times they'll erase those marks. Umpires at this level, at this stage of the game, do not allow that.
And you see the defensive shift. Great jump on the ball down the left field line. They're moving in, expecting that ball hit short to left field.
Cheyenne Newman grounded back to the pitcher, back to the box in the second for out number 2.
You know, Matt, you sense a real opportunity here for San Mateo. They were down 4-1 yesterday. A team coming to this championship round, putting a lot of pressure on themselves, really wanting to finish it on their 4th trip here. And they were in some trouble yesterday, but came back. And if they could get the win here, boy, the momentum might really take off going into tomorrow. They'd have to be feeling awfully good if they can get themselves tomorrow needing just 1 win.
And I think that's why Nicole Borg has been out to the circle so many times, because she does not want to let this slip away. And there's a strikeout by Jones. That's her first of the game. And that brings the leadoff hitter, Madison Budkoff, the second baseman, to the plate. Walked to lead off the game. Grounded out to third in the second.
And do you have the sense with Jones that the plan here, if they can get the win, is that she will be set to go in the what-if game if necessary?
I think
is that the idea?
I think she will start the first game.
Start the first game?
Yeah,
okay.
Absolutely. She's their ace. And that one catches the outside corner. It's so different at softball. You know, you think about rotations in baseball, and you think about, oh, that she needs a day of rest. Or, you know, I've seen pitchers pitch every inning of every game all the way to the Final Four, and then every inning of every game in the Final Four.
Yeah, yeah.
Up with it, Casey Edwards over to Jordan Davis for the out. 2 down now.
Well, this is shaping up to be a welcome, easy inning for Jones. Get the momentum back after they had the 5-1 lead, had to chip down to 2 runs.
Panthers are not going to go away, that's for sure. You don't get to this level by going away. And if you look at what they had to do in the regional and super regional round, they've come from behind more than once.
Are you surprised that they didn't come back immediately with Callie Sargent today, understanding what you just said about sometimes pitchers going?
Well, they you know, she lasted, what did she last, 2 innings?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
they went for that, but then decided to pull the plug. So might we see her in a Game 5 later today? If
you will.
The score holds up.
Yeah, because with your season on the line, you're going to go with your best pitcher, and I think that she now has the advantage of going only an inning and a third or whatever. You know, she'll be there. She'll be there. That one catches the outside corner. This one hit off home plate, picked up by Harley Donovan.
Looked like a drag bunt attempt.
You can never tell with those slappers. You know, you don't see them in baseball. It's just they're a unique breed. Infield and outfield shifted to the left. You can see Samantha Dean almost on the line. This one hit back to the box. Jones up with it. Over to Davis. The side's retired. A 1-2-3 inning for the Panthers. And we're heading to the bottom of the 4th. The score remains College of San Mateo 5, Sacramento City College 3. All right, we're back. Starting off inning number 4 for the College of San Mateo Bulldogs. The leadoff hitter, the catcher, the player of the year in the North, Harley Donovan. First pitch from Bebout to Donovan, in for a strike. And I always think that's a good strategy. The first time a batter sees a relief pitcher, they got to take a look at it from the vantage point of the batter's box. That one just misses. Had to be low because it was over the plate. 1-1 the count to Harley Donovan.
Is Donovan getting a bit of a reputation call there on a
Maybe,
very close
maybe.
pitch?
That was close.
They trusted her. They trust her judgment.
Luffel trying to frame that over the plate, just misses. Count moves to 2-1. To the MVP of the North. That pitch misses.
Well, if you're Bebout, you can't allow yourself to get frustrated here and hang one over the middle. This is not the hitter to do that.
She's got to come with a strike now. 3-1 count. This one hit the third. Foul territory. Cannot be in foul territory when you field it. Not even a pinky.
And maybe a break because the throw might have taken the first baseman up the line slightly and Donovan might have been safe. So perhaps for Sacramento City.
Or a break for San Mateo. She gets up and ropes one to
exactly. Let's see what happens.
To the
Harley
pool.
Donovan gets another swing. Look out in the barn, out in left center.
3-2 pitch. Almost the same exact placement. Nicole Borg, the coach of the Bulldogs, picks it up, tosses it to Avila.
That's just a great job on location, low and inside. There's not a whole lot that Harley Donovan's going to be able to do with a pitch in that location.
No. And you've seen what she does with that. She hits it foul. The pitch. That one up the middle. This one fielded by Bebout. Over to Ortiz for out number 1. Ortiz sure-footed on that one. Sure not to pull.
That's a nice athletic play by Bebout on the mound, too. A ball that could have been trouble. Back and to her right. She ends up going high on the backhand side. Makes that play look easy.
So with one down, Caitlin Chang steps into the box. It is sacrifice in inning number 1, then an RBI single in inning number 2. That one roped down the third baseline. What was that, Andrew? Only the first time?
Second time she hasn't been on base.
Second time Harley Donovan has not been on base this weekend.
So there's a highlight for Justin Bebout.
And the whole Panther team.
Yep.
Hang your hat on that one. Count even at once. The pitch from Bebout. And Bebout has been effective. You've seen foul ball after foul ball down the third base line, and that's that pitch you talked about, inside and low. Not much you can do with it.
It's a perfect location to a right-handed batter. Just ask Steve Carlton.
Yeah. Over and over again.
Yeah.
The pitch from Bebout. This time it's hit on the right side. Budkoff up with it, tosses it to Ortiz for out number 2. 4-3 if you're scoring at home. Brings up the 3-hole hitter, Christy Peterson. Reached on an error in inning number 1, fielder's choice in the second.
Odd that in the North Conference, this is the first meeting between these two teams this season.
Yeah. You're absolutely right.
This one hit up the middle. Fielded by Newman, but standing on it first, Christy Peterson.
Peterson had a groove on that one. Just took it right back up the middle. Working from the left side, a little better view.
The third baseman, Samantha Dean, steps in. Started the game in the circle for the Bulldogs. Relieved by Morgan Jones in inning number 2, or after inning number 2. That one hit almost the same place. Butkoff unable to grab it. And everybody's safe.
Butkoff is having to come a long way to her right.
I'm going to give her a signal
play
on that.
Yeah.
We'll see if Andrew Wheeler changes that, the official score.
She was positioned deep in the hole. A little bit surprising to me.
First baseman Jordan Davis, very athletic, steps in. That's a hit. You know, when you have to make an athletic play to make a play, that's going to be a hit almost every time. Well, I guess every time.
I would agree, but that's why I could never be an official scorer. I like to be liked.
Yeah.
Everything would be a hit. Well, I guess then I wouldn't be liked too much by the pitchers, but
yeah. Well, I don't know. You know, you look at when you're pitching and your squad, the people behind you have multiple errors. You kind of think, wow, that's not really cool. Maybe I'd rather have a hit credited to me. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
The pitch to Jordan Davis. Up with it is Ortiz. Over to the covering Madison Butkoff. Sides retired. And in inning number 4, the Bulldogs, no runs on 2 hits, 2 runners left. And the score remains after 4 complete, 5-3, Bulldogs on top of the Panthers. Welcome back to Bakersfield College for Game 1 on Elimination Saturday. A winner's bracket game between the Sacramento City College Panthers, the number 2 North seed, against the College of San Mateo Bulldogs, the North number 1 seed. Bulldogs on top, 5-3. First pitch to Gabby Ortiz, who hit a home run in inning number 3. Is fouled back into the screen. Bulldogs have stranded 6 runners.
We'll see if that comes back to hurt them.
Panthers 5. So a lot of potential runs left on the bags. Count even to Ortiz. The 1-1 pitch from Morgan Jones. Jones jumps up. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Looks like Ortiz was fooled on that pitch as well. So they're having a little trouble adjusting to the delivery of Morgan Jones, just as we saw yesterday at times for Santiago Canyon.
She has just a little bit more movement on it than Samantha Dean. That one hit to Samantha Dean. Up with it. Long throw in time.
Dean playing a very deep third base.
Very
Had to hurry
deep.
the throw, but got enough on there.
Cleanup hitter, Caitlin Luffel, steps into the box, reached on an error in the first, walked in the third, scored a run in the third. First pitch for Morgan Jones. Misses outside. You know, no one can complain about that. That hasn't been here all game long.
Yeah, all you can ask for is consistency.
And they're getting it. Got to know what to expect so you can swing the bat at the plate. That one hit sharply to the diving Caitlin Chang, who has been an outstanding defensive presence for the Bulldogs this weekend.
Yeah, Chang positioned well and then does a great job on the sinking line drive.
So two down. Morgan Welch steps in to face Morgan Jones. Welch struck out in the first, hit it back to Jones in the third. Ball one.
When things were looking precarious for a moment, Jones has really come on and settled things down
She has.
for the Bulldogs. Such a huge game. Talking about the difference between having to win one more with the rest of the day off or having to win 3 games in about a 24-hour period.
Exactly. Yeah, definitely the winner of this game is in the driver's seat for a state championship, having to win one of 2 tomorrow. The if necessary game isn't always necessary.
Yeah.
The delivery from Morgan to Morgan. Jones to Welch. Misses outside. Ball 3.
Yeah, if you get in a jam there, Matt, you could just go with Morgan.
Morgan. Some Morgan is going to win this at bat. Full count now. Samantha Dean up with it at third.
I think what's fascinating about third base in the softball format is the way that you have to sort of adjust your body and sometimes play it intentionally to the backhand side.
You do.
Because of the rule of having your entire body in fair play, and that's where you saw with Dean on that last play.
And Morgan draws a walk. Welch, that is. Heads down to first base with the free pass. Brings up the pitcher, Justin Bebout, who had an RBI single in the third.
Well, you hate to see a 2-out walk. You got the bases empty. You're up at 2 runs. You know, just go after Morgan Welch there. Make her do something with the bat.
One swing of the bat away from being a tie ball game. That one's outside. I think they were expecting a steal attempt from Morgan Welch.
And she does have 12 on the season and 13 attempts.
Fouled right back, heading towards us.
Yeah, that was it. The equipment was in danger, even up here in the box.
You know, my car got damaged a couple weeks ago at the regional batting practice. In the batting cage, parked a long ways away, went through a hole in the net and hit the top of the car.
Ugh.
Fouled back as Morgan Welch goes on that one. Protecting the runner, Justin Bebout.
Bebout comes into action this weekend, just 1 for 10 at the plate. She does have 5 strikeouts, so some risk there. Is more of a run and a hit, I imagine, putting Welch in motion.
That one outside intentionally. pitch out attempt right there. Pitch out, trying to keep Morgan.
And here's another thing which is so damaging about the 2-out walk is now you at least allow Bebout to bat. You go back to the top of the order in the next inning, whereas if you could have retired Welch, now you get Bebout starting the next inning. It's a whole different dynamic.
And Jordan Davis, the athletic one, up with it and retires the side, and the threat's retired. So everything he just said doesn't mean a doggone thing.
Well, that's nothing new.
So for the Panthers in inning number 5, no runs, no hits. Morgan Welch stranded at first, and we're heading to the bottom of the 5th. The score still 5-3. Bulldogs on top of the Panthers. Leading off inning number 5 for the Bulldogs, the shortstop Megan Wells singled, an RBI single in the first, grounded to second in the third. That one fouled to Gabby Avila. Nicole Borg, the coach of the Bulldogs, just sent me a text saying it's Bob McCloskey insurance time. Insurance runs needed for the Bulldogs. Of course, if you're the Panthers, you want to tie it up in the 6th and hold the Bulldogs to nothing here in this important 5th inning. 2-run lead, not much of a cushion when you're facing Sacramento City College. Bebout gets the sign from Luffel. That one bunted. Luffel up with it. Tosses it back to Bebout. One-two pitch from Justin Bebout to Megan Wells. That one fouled into the Bulldog or the Panther bullpen. Four team flags flying in center field. Tradition here in Bakersfield is as teams get eliminated, they lower the flags. Teams take them home on the bus. 2 flags coming down today. Stay tuned, you'll find out who they are. 2-2 count now to Megan Wells. Fouled back by Megan Wells.
Please do not return the ball to the field. Just bring it down to the player and they will take care of it for you. Thank you.
(5-3) the score in the 5th. San Mateo on top of Sacramento City College. This one off Bebout's leg. No man's land afterwards. As Madison Budkoff moving to her right, following the path of the ball, but it goes off Bebout. And nobody there to pick it up. Tim Kiernan comes out, the trainer, athletic trainer. Thank you, Nancy Smith. comes out to take a look at Justin Bebout. That one was sharply hit. Bounced a couple times before it bounced into her shin, but still a hard shot. She's going to take a couple warm-up pitches. An old saying in softball, she's a softball player, just rub some dirt on it, move on. So after the infield single by Megan Wells, Ariana Garcia steps up. She singled in the third. Hit a line drive to Ortiz at first in inning number 1. Squares around to bunt. Doesn't go for it, ball 1. Lots happening on that bunt square round. Ortiz charging. Bootkoff covering. Luffel faking the throw. The pitch from Bebout. Hit her. They're saying it's a foul ball. And the athletic trainer for the Bulldogs comes out to take a look at Garcia. Didn't look like it went off the bat, but the home plate umpire, Michael Hers, has a little bit better view than we do up here in the box. He says it was fouled off. She's okay. She rubbed some dirt on it. Garcia looks at her wristband, getting the sign. Megan Wells at first with a leadoff infield single off the shin of Justin Bebout. Squaring around to bunt, Garcia does not get it down. Frustrating Coach Borg. We commented all weekend, last weekend, after bunt was mishandled at the plate by the batter, that it's a lost art for all teams, not just San Mateo. Every team is having struggles with the bunt. The pitch for Bebout outside. Count even at 2. Jostin looks, gets the sign from Caitlin. The pitch to Ariana. That one hit up the middle. That's going to drop. Holding up at second is Megan Wells. Back-to-back singles by the Bulldogs. Brings Riley Wells to the plate. So nobody down, 2 on. Back-to-back singles to lead off the 5th for the College of San Mateo. They look to add some insurance runs. Already leading 5-3. Expect a bunt here. And they get her. Missing the bunt, takes a runner off the base. (2-5) if you're scoring at home. Megan Wells already moving. Riley Wells missing the bunt to set her up. So one down now. Garcia moved over to second on the out by Megan Wells. And that changes the complexion of this inning. We just talked about how bunting is a lost art, and right there, that may have cost the Bulldogs a run. Bebout over to Ortiz for out number 2. Moving over to third, Ariana Garcia. Kristen Kawaki steps into the box. So a missed bunt takes Megan Wells off the base path. And instead of runners at second and third with nobody down, you have one down and a runner at second. This one hit up the middle, back to Bebout. And the Panthers get out of a jam, a 2-on, no-out jam. And for the Bulldogs in the 5th, no runs, 2 hits, 1 runner left. And through 5 complete, the score remains College of San Mateo 5, Panthers 3. And the Panthers bring the 7, 8, 9 batters to the plate in inning number 6 to try to chip away this 5-3 Bulldog lead. Katie Lopez leads it off. Lopez hits it foul by Rich Moore, the third base coach, who doesn't move a muscle. Doesn't need to. As I mentioned yesterday, Rich Moore lives on a houseboat on the Sacramento River. One of the great guys in NorCal softball. Strike 2 on the outside corner. And Jones moves ahead of Lopez in the count. Nothing to hit from Morgan Jones on that one. Count now 1-2. Oh, they're saying it hit her. Getting the free pass. Katie Lopez took one on the shoulder. She didn't think she got hit. She had to be told. You know, so often in these games, they run down whether they're hit or not, even if it's close. That brings up the DP, Megan Anthony. Anthony struck out in the second, flew out to the diving Caitlin Chang in inning number 3. Anthony takes ball 1. Just missed. Donovan's throw a little bit short hopped it. And her dad, Sean Donovan, imploring Harley to come out firing. Jones to Anthony. Misses outside. Two 2-1 now the count. To Megan Anthony. 1 on. Nobody down. Here in the 6th. That one bunted. Up with it. Bobbled by the usually sure-handed Samantha Dean. Everybody's safe. So another Bulldog error. Their 4th of the game.
At least it was a pretty good bunt, huh, man?
It was. It was a good bunt. I'm not sure she would have gotten it. So Lopez, Katie Lopez at second, Megan Anthony at first, Cheyenne Newman at the plate. Panthers trailing by 2. Nobody down here in the 6th.
Coming to the plate, center fielder, Cheyenne Newman.
Newman thrown out by the pitcher in inning number 2, struck out swinging in the 4th. Squares around to bunt, called strike 1. Newman, the 9-hole hitter, meaning Madison Bootkoff, the leadoff hitter. Katie Gravel, the 2-hole hitter. Gabby Ortiz due up next for the Panthers. That one outside. Trying to bait. Lopez at second. Donovan up and ready to fire.
Cheyenne Newman does not have a sacrifice bunt on the season.
Well, that is an interesting statistic when you're faced with a bunting situation like they are here. That one misses outside. Hasn't been there all day, guys. 2-1 now the count. The pitch from Jones. That one catches the outside corner. Strikeout would be huge here for Morgan Jones. Nobody down, 2 on. 2-run lead. Jones comes inside with that one. Newman almost walks right into that one. Full count now to Cheyenne Newman. San Mateo does not want to give up a free pass here. Great play by the shortstop, Megan Wells, to get the lead runner. She had shifted over to her right in the right place, in the right spot to make the unassisted putout.
For out number 1, brings up the leadoff hitter, Madison Luca.
So Anthony over to second. Newman on the fielder's choice at first. Brings up the leadoff hitter, Matty Budkoff. Jones delivers a strike.
This is who you want at the plate if you're the Panthers, the leading hitter by 50 points during the season. Coming in at 414.
That one low. Count even now at ones. So 1 down, 2 on. Panthers trying to even the score at 5s. 5-3 Bulldog lead. That one in the dirt. Nice bounce by Donovan. Harley Donovan getting a workout back there. Jones not giving Budkoff anything to hit, making her work. Panthers looking to load the bases here. Three-one pitch from Morgan Jones. Catches the inside corner, strike 2.
Morgan Jones allows a little over 1 batter to reach per inning on average on the season. So you expect that she's going to hold it together pretty well, even with the pressure of having runners on base.
Full count, the pitch. That one hit to third. Getting the lead runner again is Samantha Dean, trying to get the sliding Cheyenne Newman at second, unable to do so. So 2 back-to-back, which would be 2. Defensive gems by the Bulldogs. Megan Wells, Samantha Dean. And with 2 down, as Cheyenne Newman goes over to second, and Budkoff on at first with the fielder's choice. Up steps Katie Gravel.
I believe the sabermetric I was referencing was whip, wasn't it, Matt, there with the one base runner on average per inning?
Yeah.
To reach so. But anyway, the point remains that Jones comfortable working with runners on base as the season has gone on.
And I think we're going to see a pinch hitter here, Tim Kiernan. Tim Kiernan inserting Kylie Bear into the lineup.
Your attention, please. Entering the game for Gravel, number 12, Kylie Bear.
Bear batting 118 on the season. Home run, 3 runs batted in, coming into the weekend.
So Bear replaces Gravel at the plate. 2 runners on, 2 down. That one hit back to, and a great play by Jordan Davis, the athletic one, fielding Morgan Jones' somewhat errant throw. And the sides retired. The threat is extinguished for the Panthers in the top of the 6th. And no runs, no hits, 2 runners left. There was 1 Bulldog error. And we're heading to the home half of inning number 6. The Panthers still trailing 5-3. Well, wouldn't you know, leading off inning number 6, the Northern California Player of the Year, the catcher, Harley Donovan. Donovan walked, scored a run in the first, doubled, an RBI double, scored a run in the second. In the third, she bounced it back to Jostin Bebout, who tossed it over to Gabby Ortiz to retire. 1-0 pitch outside. Outside. 3-0 count now as Luffel goes out to talk to Bebout. They do not, if you're Sacramento City College, want to put a runner on for any reason.
Yeah, you know, the leadoff walk is ordinarily the death knell in softball or baseball.
It is.
But when you have a hitter like Harley Donovan at the plate, you have to start to rethink the rule at least a little
bit. Yeah, went in for a strike. This is a tough one for Harley Donovan. Nicole Borg, does she take it? Does she swing at it?
She was taking
it all the way. And Donovan's either upset with the call or upset that she wasn't given the green light. But my friend Kelly Ford said you have a 50-50 chance of getting on base with a 3-1 count if you take that one out of play. Kelly Ford, the Mount San Antonio coach, won championships 2003, 2005, 2007, and 2009. Now at Cal State Fullerton, doing a great job there.
I wonder if Donovan is one of those hitters that has, on a 3-1 count, the look for one in a certain zone. If you like it, you can swing. That sort of freedom, certainly with the command she seems to have of the strike zone with her numbers in terms of walks and strikeouts on the season.
Well, and that one was high enough to where she thought it might be ball 4.
Yeah.
So you're right. That's certainly a possibility. 3-2 pitch. That one hit sharply to the glove of Madison Bootkoff. Right place at the right time for Maddie.
And Donovan hit it on the screws again.
Not much you can do better than that.
Yeah.
Just hit it right to the glove of Maddie Bootkoff.
whose primary fan club appears to be right in front of us.
They are right in front of us. And that brings to the plate Caitlin Cheng, who has been stellar defensively for the Bulldogs today, but also has an RBI single in inning number 2. My player of the game defensively. Not that it even matters what I say defensively. That one hit to Avila, over to Ortiz. And I'm telling you, Ortiz is pulling that foot really soon. That one called and out. So she obviously was there long enough, but it is close.
Picking up the major league move, I think, of picking up that foot just a hair before, but still getting the call.
That was close. Christy Peterson, second baseman, steps in. Singled in the 4th. Reached on an error in inning number 1. Scored a run on the Jordan Davis RBI double. Luffel tried to frame it, but when you're a foot outside the plate, hard to frame it.
A for effort, though.
You got to do what you got to do. You never know. That one fouled over the Bulldog dugout. Bebout looks at her wristband, gets the sign. That one could drop, and it does in front of Morgan Welch. Peterson on with the single to left. Cleanup hitter, the third baseman Samantha Dean steps up to bat. Another two-out rally for the Bulldogs. Let's see if that happens. They did it yesterday twice.
Hey there, boys.
Michael.
So some score updates for baseball. Remember, we will have coverage of the baseball championships next week from Fresno City College. 3 tickets punched: Golden West from the south, Santa Rosa from the north, and San Joaquin Delta, the Mustangs, from the north as well. We are waiting for the Game 3 matchup between Cypress and Grossmont. Cypress took the first. Grossmont wins Game 2 5-2, and they are in the third game as we speak.
So the Big 8 Conference sends 2 to the Final Four, San Mateo, or Santa Rosa and San Joaquin Delta.
Yeah, San Joaquin Delta with a bit of an upset. Number 9 seed taking out the number 2 seed.
What a monster of a conference.
Yeah.
It really is. And they finished 5th in that or 4th in that conference.
Well, sometimes it's just a matter of getting hot at the right time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is that ever more true than in the playoff baseball playoff format?
Strike to Samantha Dean. Santa Rosa, the number 1 ranked baseball team all year long. Winners of the Big 8. That one fouled over the Panther dugout.
Had a little bit of a scare from Chabot, but
Chabot's a good program. They came to Sierra early in the year and just whacked the Wolverines. As complete a team as I saw outside the Big 8 this year. Two-two pitch from Justin Bebout. Caught looking, Samantha Dean, the side's retired. And for the College of San Mateo in inning number 6, no runs, 1 hit, 1 Bulldog left. We're through, 6 complete. Final chance for the Sacramento City College Panthers to stay alive in the winners bracket coming up next. Sacramento City College down to the final 3 outs as they want to stay alive in this winners bracket of the 2016 CCCAA Softball State Championships. Leading off is Gabby Ortiz, the first baseman. She takes a called strike.
Ortiz had a bomb earlier in this one.
It was a bomb. First home run of the championship tournament.
First and only. We almost had a second from Katie Lopez. Just going foul earlier in the game. That would have tied it up.
Megan Wells up with it over to Jordan Davis for out number 1.
this Game 3 of the championships here up at Bakersfield. Game 4, the losers bracket, the two losers from yesterday, both it's the South, Cypress and Santiago Canyon College, 45 minutes after the conclusion of this game here.
Caitlin Luffel steps in for the Panthers. Reached on an error by Jordan Davis in inning number 1. Walked in the 3rd and hit a shot to the diving Caitlin Chang in left field in the 5th. You know, for all the errors we've seen today, both teams have come up defensively when they've needed to.
Yeah, it's they had butterflies early, but then, I mean, really, kudos to Madison Butkoff at second base for Sacramento City. She had some tough plays early on and has really righted the ship later in this ball game. But Sacramento City about to be dinged with a loss here, their first of the weekend, if the score holds.
That one fouled down the 3rd baseline. Samantha Dean trying to play soccer with it. Two on the count now to Caitlin Luffel. That one catches the outside corner for strike number 2.
Two and two now on Luffel. One gone here, top of the 7th.
That one hit high to the left side of the infield.
Yeah, no man's land in foul territory.
3 Bulldogs converge on it, but they're all there too late.
Luckily for Luffel, who stays alive.
San Mateo really good at doing that in the super regionals against Sierra, against CRC, against anybody they played, just hitting it right over there in that little no man's land, but in foul or fair territory. .53 to score. Sun directly in the scoreboard. So not only do I have a pole in front of it, but I've got the sun. That one hit up the middle, but over to Jordan Davis, Christy Peterson for out number 2.
Yeah, Peterson does a good job on that play. Really just settles down, takes her time, does not rush, and completes the out. And 1 out away are the Bulldogs from
Championship
no losses,
Sunday.
Yeah, well, no losses, more importantly, on Championship Sunday. They'll get 2 cracks at it if they need it tomorrow.
Bulldog faithful. Really quiet. They're holding their collective breath.
Not something you often hear from the Bulldog faithful because they are a loud group. The Dog Pound in full force.
Well, if they retire Morgan Welch to end the game, they will make some noise.
Looks like Bebout's going to come off and they're going to sub for somebody on deck. Or was it the wrong player on deck?
He's just killing time.
Ice the pitcher. Pitch is low. 2-0 now. The count. Morgan Welch leading the team on the season in home runs.
That one hit up the middle.
Not a home run, but it will do.
And look who, Tim Kiernan was out talking to the umpire. He is reinserting Callie Sargent.
And good reason why. And do you maybe think about taking the game out of her hands and not pitching to her?
Why? Why not? You know, you got 2 down.
I mean, that's Barry Bond's treatment. You give it a force opportunity. You can go to third, second, or first. If you do put 2 on, 2 out. But one swing of the bat can tie it up right here for Callie Sargent. The hero yesterday in a complete game, 2-hit shutout versus Cypress in the top seed from the south.
Well, let's see. She was the hero in the circle yesterday. Is she going to be the hero at the plate today?
Double duty.
And there's this great softball rule where you can re-enter someone who hasn't played since inning number 2. That one in for a strike.
Jones going right after her with Sargent showing bunt. You get the feeling that Sargent just using that as an opportunity to gauge the speed of Morgan Jones.
Donovan, you know, not much gets behind her.
Yeah.
It's the count now 1-1.
Can't imagine Welch taking too much of a lead from first. Last thing you want to do is to end the game with Callie Sargent at the plate right here. Just take too much of a lead, especially with a rifle arm behind the dish.
Dog Pound wanted that one to be a strike. 2-1 now the count to Callie Sargent. Pinch hitting for Justin Bebout.
Hitters count. Wow. And that's a good job by the player of the year in the North, Haley Donovan, going out to calm down Morgan Jones. Morgan decidedly upset about the no-call strike there. 3-1 now on Callie Sargent, and you have to imagine not going to get much here.
Well, the one thing that you have to say about home plate umpire Michael Hers, he has been consistent all game long with those outside pitches. And Sargent is on. I think they decided possibly that they were going to just walk her.
Now let's go with the lesser of 2 evils. But up comes Katie Lopez, and Lopez nearly went deep. I want to say back in the third.
Yeah, I think it was the third.
Going just foul.
And then she reached on an error by the pitcher.
So visit out to the mound here, and Morgan Jones, they will go with the plan of attack here.
Nicole Bohr got to talk to her infield and pitcher, which I guess is part of the infield. Katie Lopez. She the last chance for these Panthers? We're going to find out. Jones catches the outside corner.
I just don't understand how that's called a strike, but the other one isn't.
I wasn't going to say
consistency.
Anything. Yeah, that's the first inconsistent, well, one of the first inconsistent calls we've seen. 0-1 pitch from Morgan Jones. And that one's hit. 1 run across. And in safely at second with an RBI double is Katie Lopez.
Here comes Megan Anthony. Anthony with 15 ribbies on the year, and a huge spot and an opportunity for her to perhaps have Sacramento City come back and take the lead. The lead is down to 1 for CSM and the Bulldogs, and are we going to see a pitching change? I believe we will. We'll be back in a short moment on SoCalCollegeSports.com.
So the Panthers strike for an out for a run with 2 down here in the top of the 7th. 2 runners on now with 2 down. Callie Sargent at third, Katie Lopez at second. At the plate, Megan Anthony. First pitch to Anthony from the new pitcher, Christy Peterson, a called strike.
Peterson on the season, 7-1, 58 2/3 innings pitched.
That one high, 1-1.
A 1.53 ERA. 2 saves on the season. Be a huge one right here in a tough spot.
2 down, 2 on. 1-run lead for the College of San Mateo here in the top of the 7th.
Well, one thing you can say about the weekend so far, it has not been devoid of any drama. That's for sure.
Every game. And
There
it's
it
all
is.
tied up. It's all tied up. Well, the lead run stays at third base.
Good piece of hitting there by Anthony.
Anthony with an RBI single.
Stays inside of it. Run will be charged to Morgan Jones, but Sac City staying alive, ties it up. Talk about some grit from the 3 seed out of the north. We see it right there. Now it's 1st and 3rd, and an opportunity here for Cheyenne Newman to give the Panthers the lead.
Panthers down to their final out. Mount a 2-out rally to score 2 runs and tie it up here in the top of the 7th.
Good game.
Cheyenne Newman steps in, the 9-hole hitter, the lefty slapper.
Can she slap the Panthers ahead on this one? And they're playing her for a bunt down third.
Strike 1.
Wow.
Panthers unhappy with that one.
That's an incredible strike call. And I don't mean that in a positive sense.
0-1 pitch. Strike 2 on the outside corner.
That's not on the outside corner. That's in the neighbor's yard. What is the ump saying? That's terrible.
Peterson not going to give anything.
Well, why not just call that a strike? I got to tell you, the last 2 pitches prior to that one were very questionable over the outside half.
One-two pitch from Christy Peterson. Fouled off.
Peterson with a fresh arm. Flashing some velocity on that one, does a good job making Newman late. Newman does stay alive, 1-2, 2 outs. Bulldogs a strike away.
That one hit to the shortstop, third baseman. Everybody's safe. Panthers take the lead.
Newman with the wheels down the first base line. Panthers on top. And Sacramento City with the 3-run top of the 7th, 2-out rally.
And stepping into the box, the leadoff hitter, Madison Bootkoff.
Bootkoff, a chance at redemption right here.
And the side is retired, but the Panthers strike for 3 runs on 4 hits, leave a couple on base, and take the lead. Heading to the bottom of the 7th, the last chance now for the College of San Mateo Bulldogs to score. Sac City 6, San Mateo 5.
high drama in game one here, Matt. Mike Cepeda, Matt Folsom with you on today's coverage. SoCalCollegeSports.com. Game 1 of 3, a triple header here on day 2 of the softball championships from Bakersfield College. Matt, what a game!
Wow, the Panthers 1 out away from having to play again today in an elimination game.
Yeah,
and they come through with 3 runs in the top of the 7th to take a 1-run lead.
and look who's on the circle, on to get the save here. Callie Sargent, who went the distance yesterday in the 2-hit shutout, started today, was subbed in for by Bebout. Bebout off, Sargent in last inning. Comes around to score, and an opportunity to put the Bulldogs away here in game 3.
That one hit down the first baseline. Foul territory, not able to make the play.
Yeah, Butkoff a little late getting there. Ortiz did not have a beat on it. 0-2 now, though, for Sargent, who had 6 Ks yesterday, looking to add to her total on the weekend.
So Jordan Davis doubled, an RBI double in the first. 2 outs to first base in the 3rd and the 4th. That one high. Disciplined bunch these Bulldogs are. They're not going to fall for that too often.
And don't count out the Bulldogs yet. Sargent still has to do her part.
And they were pretty effective. The Bulldogs were against her earlier in the game.
Early on, I want to say there were 4 or 5 runs charged to her. I mean, don't get me wrong. It was usually the result of some errors.
You know, they touched her for 5 runs. Credited with 5 runs against her.
Let's see, 2 of those earned.
Jordan Davis works the count full.
1 to die, 2 to win to walk off here in thrilling fashion. It's been a thriller already.
That one hit high, deep.
Out
It's out of here, and it's tied up.
What an at-bat by Davis! Jordan Davis with the equalizer here in the bottom of the 7th.
And just over the reaching Katie Gravel hit the top of the fence for a home run to tie it up here in the bottom of the 7th.
What did we say about the drama level, Matt?
Wow. I'm stunned. It was what else is going to happen in this game? And the Bulldogs get the energy back here in the stands, that's for sure. Bulldog Nation grabs it away from Panther Nation. Megan Wells steps into the box. Jordan Davis, the hit of the year for the Bulldogs.
6th home run on the season. We knew she had some pop. She flashes it right there to tie it up here in the bottom half of the 7th inning. And now an opportunity for the Bulldogs. Nobody out to walk off.
Megan Wells 2 for 3 on the afternoon, a pair of singles. Well, every game has come down to the last inning. That one high. Wells having nothing to do with those high pitches. Brad Pickler at Cypress yesterday talked about going into face Sargent. We know she's going to be high in the strike zone, high outside of the strike zone. We have to be disciplined. No secret what you're facing against Callie Sargent. Shout out to my daughter, Kaylee. Back home in Folsom. The pitch. Butkoff over with the grab for out number 1.
Good play there made by Butkoff, ranging over to her left. I'm just still in a bit of awe after the Jordan Davis home run to tie things up. Only the second home run on the weekend.
Ariana Garcia, the DP, steps in.
To quote a movie that I'm very fond of, Dodgeball, Pepper Brooks, played by Jason Bateman in that movie. I feel shocked.
I feel shocked. High. And I didn't see Sargent throwing in the bullpen. I think she came in pretty cold.
Yeah.
She batted. She was a pinch batter, a pinch hitter. And then went out to pitch.
And then was rudely awakened by the bat of Jordan Davis.
That's in for a strike.
Let's hope so.
You know, there's a little team from Rockland, California in 2014, came from behind in every game to win the state championship. I'm talking about Sierra College, who I'm familiar with.
Yeah, you might have some idea of their
Can
history.
that happen? Can that happen today? Can that happen this weekend for the College of San Mateo? Behind yesterday against Santiago Canyon, behind in the 7th to Sacramento City College. Can they move on to Championship Sunday now, or do they have to go through that elimination bracket?
Back and forth we go. Remember, as we headed into the 7th, it was 5-3. The Bulldogs on top of the Panthers, and then a 3-run top half of the final inning, or the 7th inning, rather.
Yeah, because it might not be the final way this game's going.
I think you're exactly right there. Leadoff home run from Jordan Davis. Strikeout there from Sargent, her 7th of the weekend. 2 outs, 2 gone here now.
Riley Wells steps in, the right fielder.
Well, Jeff Stoynoff had pointed out going into the bottom half of this inning, Callie Sargent was going to have about 2 days rest. Instead, they bring her out because she had batted in the last half. B-bout comes off. And instead of being rested, now she's probably going to have to work the rest of this game.
I wouldn't change that up. And this one hit a can of corn for Madison Bootkoff, and the side's retired. But the College of San Mateo strikes her 1 run on 1 hit. The Jordan Davis home run over right center field. And we're going to extra innings, all tied at 6s.
We head to extras here in Game 3 of the softball championships from Bakersfield. Mike Cepeda, Matt Folsom, Jeff Stoynoff with you on today's coverage. Game 1 of a triple header here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Katie Gravel will start things off in the batter's box for the Panthers. Jordan Davis for the Bulldogs, extending this one to extras as she homered in the bottom half of the 7th inning off of Callie Sargent. Christy Peterson in the circle right now for College of San Mateo. That one slapped over to third. Samantha Dean with it, up with it, in time to get the runner. One gone here in the top of the 8th. That was actually Casey Edwards making the play at third. That brings up Gabby Ortiz. Ortiz homered back in the top of the 3rd. Ortiz with her 3rd home run on the season back in the 3rd that we just mentioned. Takes outside for strike 1. G5 there, Maddie.
Where are we?
In the 8th, it was Katie Gravel leading things off.
All right. Gabby Ortiz. We know what she can do. Hit a home run, as you probably mentioned in my absence, in inning number 3.
I did. We're on the same page.
What a game. What a weekend so far.
Yeah, it's been a good one.
3 games in question in the final inning. You can't ask for much more than that in a championship series.
Game 1 of 3 today, 45 minutes after the conclusion of this game, whenever that might be. Game 4 of the championships will start between Cypress and Santiago Canyon College.
You're getting that one down.
I'm trying to. I've had my reps. The Hawks and the Chargers on SoCalCollegeSports.com. The losers bracket, our first elimination game of the weekend. 45 minutes after the conclusion of this one right here, we have a doozy. It's the Bulldogs from San Mateo and the Panthers from Sac City.
We've got a pinch runner. Got a pinch runner, Bailey Zigan.
So Zigan at first. Zigan with some speed on the base pass. She gets spot duty. Has not been caught stealing this year.
Has she made any attempts?
She made 1.
There you go.
She's 100%.
That's all you could ask for. That's perfect.
It's by my math anyway.
That's perfect. Caitlin Luffel in the box. Takes a strike from Christy Peterson.
And one thing you probably don't want to do, though, is be running on the player of the year in the North, Haley Donovan.
You know, this would be a good time to lay down a bunt or try to steal for the Panthers.
Infield playing back.
This one hit down the first baseline foul. Little hit and run and hit action there, it looked like.
2 hours and 40 minutes gone by. We'll have a visit to the mound.
It's a good thing we get paid by the hour.
Yeah. Good eye.
6-6 score, top of the 8th. Panthers grabbed a 6-5 lead in the top of inning number 7 with 3 runs. This one hit back to the box. Up with it is Peterson. Over to Davis for out number 2. Advancing to seconds, Ortiz.
And remember, Davis made a nice play at the end of the top of the 7th to finish out that inning defensively and comes right back with the home run to lead it off in the bottom half. So many times you make a defensive play that's so key to your team's success, and you come up and you shine at the plate. We saw that from Jordan Davis to tie it up and send it into extras.
Morgan Welch, the left fielder, in the box now for the Panthers. Swing fouled back to the screen.
By the numbers, the most powerful bat in the lineup at the disposal of Sacramento City.
Oh, 1 pitch from Christy Peterson. 0-2 pitch coming up. That one on the outside corner. That was a good pitch.
Great location from Peterson.
Morgan not going to see anything to hit on this one. She does. Thanks a lot, Christy Peterson.
Let's see if Peterson tries to jam her inside. She's been on the outside part of the plate much of this at-bat. Let's see if she goes back in.
0-2 pitch, high. Well, she mixed it up a little bit right there.
Yeah, it went high and tight.
High and tight.
Kelly Sargent on deck, waiting for an opportunity here in the top of the 8th.
This one fouled out of play.
That one going to the parking lot.
Somebody caught it.
Ball and 2 strikes on Morgan Welch.
2 down, 1 on. 6-6 tie. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. The side's retired. The Panthers get 1 runner all the way to second. That was Gabby Ortiz. She's stranded after drawing the walk. We're heading to the bottom of the 8th. The score remains 6-6. So pinch hitting for Kristen Kawaki is Alicia Ortega. Ortega batting .533 on the year. Five RBIs, or RBI, runs batted in. Sargent misses on the outside corner, or just outside the outside corner. Knotted at 6. The pitch. Strike 2. Two count now to Ortega. It's Standing in the on-deck circle, Harley Donovan, the Player of the Year in Northern California. Count moves to 3-2. Full count now to Alicia Ortega.
Okay, so something came unplugged.
Full 2. Full 3-2. That one on the line. Foul ball. Step with a foot out of bounds outside the wide line is Gabby Avila. Harley Donovan, the Player of the Year, stands in the box. Chance to win the game in walk-off fashion. Bottom of the 8th. And a runner's on. Entering the game is Kristen Kowalski. Ortega did her job. Got on. The speedier Kristen Kowalski. Probably a little bit more experience than Ortega in running the bases. Goes back in. Let's see if the NorCal Player of the Year can send the Bulldogs to Championship Sunday. Misses outside, ball 1. Not only the NorCal Player of the Year, the State Catcher of the Year. As awarded today in a pregame ceremony. They're going to take the bat out of her hands, it looks like. A 2-0 count to Donovan. Oh, that one catches the outside corner. They're not going to give her a free pass. Donovan with the potential to end it here with one swing of the bat and send the Bulldogs to Championship Sunday. That one outside. Three-one pitch. Donovan taken all the way.
Apologies for any technical difficulties. We seem to have lost the camera up top. Still do have one going here. The stream's been a little in and out, but good to go now here. And remember, if you want to buy a copy of today's game or any game throughout the weekend, contact us at SoCalCollegeSports@hotmail.com.
Swing and a miss by Donovan. Great pitch by Callie Sargent.
Sargent gets the better of the North Player of the Year.
So now one down. Caitlin Chang. Caitlin Chang in the Super Regionals hit a home run against Sierra.
Chang with 5 home runs on the season.
That one hit high, deep, to the fence. Chang delivers a double. Ortega, or actually now Kowalski, over to third. One down.
And for Chang, that is her 16th double here in 2016. It's a big one. One gone here in the bottom of the 8th, and an opportunity here for Peterson.
And they're going to walk Peterson. We've been talking about this move all weekend long.
Yeah, the intentional walk and set up the force opportunity here. Sargent can get out of it. Obviously, she is very good with the ball in her hand, but she's going to have to dig deep for this one.
Well, walking Peterson brings up the cleanup hitter, Samantha Dean.
And how huge does the strikeout of Haley Donovan loom now?
And behind Samantha Dean, Jordan Davis, who hit a home run to tie it up last inning. So we got some big bats in the lineup for the Bulldogs. Big Bulldog bats. And Tim Kiernan comes out to talk to his ace.
Put up a total of 14 runs on the weekend so far. Looking to make it 15 for the walk-off win.
Wow, what a game. 6-6, bottom of the 8th. 2 runners in scoring position, but you only need 1.
Now, the base paths in baseball are 90 feet. What is it in softball?
It's 120. No. That's a good question. I think it's 60 feet. No, they're both. Cherie Shoemake will know that. Or Andrew Wheeler will know that. 60 feet.
Good call there, Maddie.
60 feet. Samantha Dean, the cleanup hitter, steps into the box. She lifted one to center field for an out against Sargent in the first. Bases full of Bulldogs. The only one that really matters is the one at third base. Because if she scores, this game is over.
Sargent did such a good job of staying ahead of the hitters last night versus Cypress. 0-1 here.
One down, the strikeout by Donovan. Swing and a miss, strike 2. And that's uncharacteristic lack of discipline by Dean. Don't see that very often. Those Bulldog batters going for that high stuff.
One thing to be said, Samantha Dean leading the team in strikeouts on the season. She is tied with Jordan Davis with 8 in 2016 coming into the weekend.
And Jordan Davis in that renegade red on deck circle for the Bulldogs. That one hit high, but not very deep. Back to grab it is the shortstop, Katie Lopez. 2 down. Can the Panthers get out of this one and extend this game?
Obviously, hindsight is 20/20, but the infield playing back there, I'm surprised they didn't maybe think about going for the suicide squeeze.
Yeah. Jordan Davis homered to tie it up, send it to extra innings in the 7th. Steps up with the bases loaded.
Got to be careful.
Swing and a miss, off speed.
That's a terrific pitch selection there. Double and homer off of Sargent for Jordan Davis.
Well, and whoever's calling the pitches down there, which is probably Coach Kiernan, dialed up a good one there.
Goes off speed, takes a little bit off of it, but Jordan Davis seems to have found the answer for the question mark that has been on the weekend for most batters at the dish in Callie Sargent.
That one hit foul.
That one hung up there, and that's one that Davis wants back. Now it's 0-2, and Sargent
in control.
Thinking about maybe pulling the string on this one, or do you go back to the high heat? Remember, it was the high heat that burned her on the home run to Davis earlier.
I think, what's her strength?
The high heat.
The high heat.
Go to the bread and butter.
0-2 to Jordan Davis. Are we going to see a ninth inning, or are we going to see the Bulldogs end it here?
High heat, as predicted. Almost 2,000 viewers on the broadcast yesterday, and gonna crush that number here today.
Well, they're getting a good one today. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3.
Callie Sargent digs deep. 2 strikeouts in the inning. 1 versus the Northern Player of the Year in Haley Donovan. And then she gets Samantha Dean swinging to end it in the bottom of the 8th with the bases juiced. We head to the 9th. 6-all on SoCalCollegeSports.com.
Well, if you're looking at the scoreboard, you're seeing it right. 9th inning, top of the 9th. As this one has become an epic battle. Callie Sargent, who just struck out Samantha Dean to extend the game and the winner's bracket life of the Panthers.
Had nowhere to put anybody. Bases were loaded, and she comes through on Jordan. I mean, unbelievable.
Count even now at 1-1. Christy Peterson, the 3rd Bulldog pitcher this evening, this afternoon.
I believe I called Harley Donovan Haley Donovan.
You did
Apologies.
once. She didn't hear it. That one outside. Six. You see it on the scoreboard. That one inside from Peterson.
And remember, everybody, you don't have to be in front of a computer to watch the game live. Go to your tablet, PC, or smartphone device and input www.SoCalCollegeSports.com. You can catch us on the go and spread the word. You have some family members that weren't able to make it up here or down here to Bakersfield for the weekend. Let them know where they can find the stream.
And Sargent draws a leadoff walk. That brings Katie Lopez, the dangerous Katie Lopez, to the plate.
As we said earlier, nearly knocked one out of here back in the 3rd inning. A ball that had plenty of juice on it, just a little left of the foul pole.
Now batting shortstop, Katie Lopez.
hit her in fair territory. They're saying in foul territory? Foul ball. So Katie Lopez hit a line drive to the second baseman in the first. Reach on an error by the pitcher in the third. Was hit by a pitch in inning number 6. And then in the all-important 7th, had an RBI double. Lopez fouls another one back into the screen. Peterson on top. 2 strikes. No balls. Nobody down. Sargent at first. Drew the walk to lead off the 9th. That's right, the 9th. That one hit to right field. Taking a step in is Riley Wells.
Nice play made there by Riley.
And as we're getting to this time of the evening, the sun is right in the right fielder's eyes, as well as the first baseman, second baseman.
That's right in our face.
And so I can understand why she took a step in.
Coach Kiernan.
So one down. Megan Anthony, the DP, steps in. Had an RBI single in that amazing 7th inning for the Panthers. Trailing 5-3, scored 3 to take a lead 6-5. And then Jordan Davis tied it up for the Bulldogs in the bottom of the 7th with a solo shot to right center.
3 hours and 3 minutes now gone by in Game 3 of the finals.
It's like a Major League Baseball game has taken over here.
Cheyenne Newman on deck.
Good thing they have lights here.
They're going to need them. Now I'm going to need a jacket. Because if yesterday was any indication, it's going to get nippy in about a couple hours here. Beautiful day for softball, though.
And it's bobbled by the third baseman.
Yeah, Casey Edwards, not the everyday third baseman. Usually that's Samantha Dean if she's not pitching.
So we've got an E5, a walk and an error.
To lead it off, 1 gone here, top of the 9th, and Cheyenne Newman with an opportunity right now.
That has been an ominous combination, a walk and an error in any inning here at this.
Well, it's been ominous and it's
4.
been common.
Common and ominous. Ominous.
2 hits yesterday for Cheyenne.
That one on the outside corner, strike 1. Two runners on, 1 down. Newman at the plate. Fouled into the screen.
Sargent at second base right now, and if you're thinking about durability issues for Callie Sargent in the circle, Sacramento City fans need not worry. Earlier in the season, in relief, she went 11 1/3 for the win. She's on second right now and likely going to come out as the pitcher in the bottom half of the 9th.
Good eye by Newman.
Newman swinging a hot stick this weekend.
Count now 1-2. Bouncer fielded nicely by Harley Donovan.
No, we talk about the transition for her behind the plate after being in the outfield last year. Just tells you the kind of athlete that Harley Donovan is. Got her.
Yeah, good looking.
Well, the outside half of the plate's been a very generous call versus lefties. And Peterson gets the call right there to put Newman away.
Maddie Budkoff steps in, the leadoff hitter. You talk about Harley Donovan taking over as catcher. Leilani Akai, all-conference, all-NorCal catcher for the Bulldogs last year, which is probably why Donovan, an All-American last year, was at another position. You would think.
An embarrassment of riches in talent.
Yes.
For College of San Mateo.
This one popped up. Davis over.
It's a good effort there by Davis. A little miscommunication between Davis and Donovan. That probably resulted in the non-catch there from Davis. Should have been Davis's ball.
You know, as often as you see errors and walks be trouble, missing those outs always seem to come back to haunt you.
Can be just as bad if it results dirty here. It's still 0-2 though. Peterson ahead.
And it hit her.
Oh, wow. That one gets away from Peterson. Base is juiced now, and an opportunity for the Panthers to return the favor. This time maybe get one across.
Katie Gravel pinch hit in the sixth by with Kylie Baer. Re-entered and now steps in.
So Gravel, 323 on the year coming into the championships.
Athletic trainer goes over, checks out the recently hit Budkoff. She's okay. The gritty Gravel steps in with the bases loaded. That's a strike.
Wow. We don't have a crowd mic in play right now, but I
That's
can
a
tell
good
you to sum up the thoughts of the Sacramento City following. That was terrible.
I think the actual word was horrible.
Well,
To quote Bill Walton.
horrible.
Horrible.
We try to be fair here with the refereeing and umpiring, but that outside call has just been brutal here today, especially for left-handed hitters for both teams.
0-2 pitch to Katie Gravel from Christy Peterson. That one outside.
What's strange about the call here, Matt, is the fact that Donovan she can't even frame it.
No.
She has to turn her glove, and yet it's still being called a strike. I don't understand it.
And that'll do it.
Good fielding there from Edwards.
So the force at home. The Panthers in the ninth. Yes, that's right, the ninth. I have to keep reminding myself and you out there. No runs, no hits. 3 runners left. There was 1 Bulldog error. We're heading to the home half of the ninth. Still 6-6. Leading off inning number 9 for the College of San Mateo Bulldogs, the shortstop, Megan Wells. Wells, a 2 for 4. RBI single in the first. Single in inning number 5. Six, 7, 8 hitters due up before the College of San Mateo as they try to move on to Championship Sunday with 1 run here in the 9th. Panthers looking to extend it and stay alive so they can move to Championship Sunday.
I'm trying to figure out, in the game that Callie Sargent went 11 1/3 in relief for the win, how long was that game? It was a 12-inning game, I'm being told by Jeff Stoynoff. And the control's starting to get away here from Sargent. 3 balls in a row. It's 3-0.
It was almost as long as this one.
Well, we're three innings away from that. Megan Wells.
Time-wise, I think.
I think you might be right. 3 hours and 12 minutes in now. To Game 3 of the softball championships here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Game 1 of a triple header today. It's going to be a long day here, folks, at Bakersfield College.
3-0 pitch. And 4 straight balls by Callie Sargent. Sends Megan Wells down to first, brings up the DP, Ariana Garcia.
Wells brings up the designated player, Ariana Garcia.
Here comes the ball. Gabby, take it away.
The North number 1, the North number 2. Unprecedented since 2009. That one bunted into the air onto the screen. 2009, the last time 2 teams from the North played in a winner's bracket game. One of these teams is going to be battling for the state championship tomorrow.
What are you doing?
Another one bunted straight up in the air. A lost art. Hard to bunt rise balls. That's all I got to say. Riley Wells, the right fielder, steps in. Reached on a pair of errors in inning number 2 and inning number 3. Budkoff in the second. Ortiz in the third. 2 for 4 on the afternoon. Or 0 for 4 on the afternoon, I should say. Megan Wells at first. Riley Wells at the plate. That one hit high, hit deep. Making the grab, Morgan Welch.
What a play by Morgan Welsh. Looked like that was going to get to the wall for sure. Gets on her high horse and tracks it down.
Wow.
She has 12 stolen bases, second on this team in steals, and we see the speed in the outfield right there.
And that brings the recently re-entered Kristen Kawaki to the plate. Kawaki pinch hit for by Alicia Ortega, who walked last inning.
Leadoff walk here by Sargent. Now not looking as ominous with 2 gone.
That one over for a strike. You have to wonder how this affects the upcoming game. Santiago Canyon and Cypress. You know, they've been waiting around a long time.
Yeah, they were starting batting practice
And that'll do it for inning number 9.
Wow.
Yeah, batting practice starting in the 5th for the Bulldogs in the 9th. No runs, no hits, 1 runner stranded through 9. We're moving to 10. The score remains 6-6. Welcome back to Bakersfield for inning number 10 of this amazing winners bracket game here at the 2016 CCCAA Softball State Championship. Gabby Ortiz leading it off for the Panthers. 6-6 the score. Ortiz blasted a home run in the third for the first Panther out, or first Panther run. I'm getting a little leery over here. Oh, 1 pitch rifled at Megan Wells, who makes the grab for out number 1. And up steps the catcher, Caitlin Luffel. Luffel reached on an error by Davis in the first, walked in the third. And this one under the glove of Megan Wells. And on with a single is Luffel. Morgan Welch, who made an outstanding defensive play to deny a possible extra base hit last inning, steps up. That one fouled back into the screen. Ortiz lined to short to open the inning. Luffel hit a grounder to short just under the glove of Megan Wells as she dove to try to make the grab. Morgan Welch struck out in the first, grounded back to the box in the third, walked in the fifth, singled and scored in the seventh, struck out in the eighth. It's a lot of ABs for these players. The 1-2 pitch from Christy Peterson. That one rifled down the first base line all the way to the fence. Rounding second is Luffel, and she makes it into third. Morgan Welch with a double.
It's a nice piece of hitting by Welch, taking that one the opposite way. Pitch on the outside corner. Instead of turning on it, she takes it right over the first baseman's head for extra bases.
So runners on, second and third. One down. Callie Sargent steps to the plate. Not sure she's going to see anything. We're here with one down. We'll find out.
Now batting the pitcher, Callie Sargent.
That one just outside, ball one. Two and 0 now. The count to Callie Sargent. I think it's going to be one of those unintentional intentionals. Panthers one pitch away from loading the bases for Katie Lopez with one down in the 10th. And Sargent on.
And you think back to a couple of innings ago when it was College of San Mateo that had the bases loaded with one out and an opportunity to walk out of here with a victory in Game 3, but Samantha Dean popped out. Jordan Davis struck out. A great job by Callie Sargent working out of the jam, and now Christy Peterson has to answer.
And it should not go unnoticed that the Panthers' first two batters in the top of the 7th were both outs. So a two-run rally for 3 runs. That one down the third base line. 10-inning epic battle between the two Northern California seeds, the #1 Bulldogs, the #2 Panthers.
Well, the way this weekend has gone so far, I think the last thing Sacramento City here wants to do here is put 1 run on the board, because that's usually when we see 2 from the team in the bottom of the
You're
inning.
exactly right.
Turn it around.
Strikeout would be huge here. That one inside for ball 1. I thought it was 0-2, so it's 1-1 now. Strikeout would still be huge here. That one hit high, deep, tagging up. Let's see if Coach Rich Moore sends her. He does. And a run is across. Caitlin Luffel scores on the sacrifice fly by Katie Lopez. Lopez moves over to second.
Yeah, on the errant throw on the relay, both runners moved up, so it's 2 runners in scoring position. And that's very important here, because picking up 1 run is a lot easier than 3 runs. And a base hit here for Sacramento City can easily put 2 more on the board.
So Megan Anthony, the DP, steps in with runners on second and third. A 1-run lead now for Sacramento City College. That one popped up. Over to make the grab is Megan Wells. But the Panthers get 1 run on 2 hits. They leave a couple. Heading to the bottom of the 10th. The score now, Sacramento City 7, College of San Mateo 6. Well, the College of San Mateo needs a run to stay alive in this game 1 of 3 on Saturday. 2 will win it. The Panthers are looking for 3 outs to move on to Championship Sunday. Callie Sargent, the ace, in the circle. Harley Donovan, the NorCal Player of the Year, at the plate.
This is the kind of Titanic matchup befitting a 10th inning in a championship round.
Sargent struck her out in the 9th, or the 8th, excuse me, the 8th. That one a called strike. The 1-1 pitch. Good eye by Harley Donovan. Takes the count to 2-1. 2-1. Off-speed pitch, catches the corner for strike 2. Can Sargent get Donovan for the second straight time with the game on the line? The pitch. Good eye by Harley Donovan. Full count.
Well, no doubt Harley Donovan wouldn't be human if she wasn't thinking about tying this one up with one swing, but a walk here would be huge.
It would be. Got the heart of the order coming up. That one a rainmaker.
Oh, she just got under that one. Little out in front.
Cypress and Santiago Canyon coming up next, an elimination game. One of those teams going to be heading down south after one team advancing to face the loser of this game. Another foul ball over the head of Coach Nicole Borg.
And how about one of these teams has to get ready to play tonight?
Yep.
More work to do on a Saturday.
It's a long day for one of these teams. Of course, they don't mind. Get to keep them alive. Possibly to play again tomorrow against these same two teams. This one hit to the second baseman. Up with it is Maddie Budkoff.
That's a great job by Budkoff. That ball took a pretty nasty hop on the second bounce. But Budkoff gave herself a little room, got the glove up.
So one down for Caitlin Chang. Singled in the 8th.
Chang has a couple of homers in the postseason.
I saw one of them myself. This one hit to the shortstop. Lopez over to Ortiz for the second out of the 10th. One out away for the Panthers. They get this one. They move to Championship Sunday. And the odds are very good when you get to Championship Sunday without a loss that you become state champions. Christy Peterson takes ball 1.
Well, we've already seen a 3-run rally after 2 are out to extend this game.
A lot of 2-out rallies this weekend. Strike 1 on the outside corner. Callie Sargent to Christy Peterson. Swing and a miss, or swing and fouled back, strike 2.
So hard to lay off that high fastball from Callie Sargent.
Down to 1 pitch, 1 strike. That one hit high. Budkoff underneath for the out. And the Panthers are moving to Championship Sunday with a 7-6, 10-inning epic win over the Bulldogs from the College of San Mateo. The Panthers get to go home, have a nice dinner, and they get to come back tomorrow. They have to win 1 out of 2 scheduled games. The if necessary game if they don't take it in the first one. The Bulldogs, on the other hand, have to take a couple-hour break. Could be longer the way these games are going.
Yeah, absolutely.
To find out who they play in the third game tonight.
It's the 2016 CCCAA Softball Championship on SoCalCollegeSports.com.